Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and here we are. It is Pantry Cooking for Two Tuesday, and you know what that means. I'm going to put together a meal for just the two of us. Maybe sometimes there's a little leftovers for lunch the next day, but I'm going to use up some leftovers today, and I'm going to pair it with cornmeal muffins from the cornmeal mix that I showed you yesterday at Mix It Up Monday. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I've got some leftovers, and what I have, I'll show you. I did some beef in the slow cooker, and I roasted some vegetables, and I also have a wild rice mix. And I'm going to just put that all together here in this pot. I'll have to break up that piece of meat, and I'm just going to put this all together. Let me get some, break it up. There it is. It's going to break up. So I just took this out of the fridge, and I hate to have leftovers that get wasted, so this is what I'm going to use for here. I need a stiffer, there we are. My little silicone thing isn't working it's not as hard as a wooden spoon, but it'll get me there. Okay, try to use silicone in these glass pots so they don't get scratched with metal. Okay, that will break down more as it gets cooked. And now I have also the broth that came out of the slow cooker. So basically I'm just going to kind of put this all together and make a stew. And I have a little bit of water here in case I want to throw that in as well. And now we'll go in all the veggies. And I just don't want to put a whole bunch because I don't want it to be more soupy. I'd rather have it more of a stew, I guess. And that rice is going to be awesome in there. So, put those aside. So now I'm going to add a little bit of water, and of course I could taste this, and if I wanted a little bit more beefy, I could add some broth or some bouillon, but I don't think I'm going to need it. So there I have that little bit of water, and now I'm going to put that on the stove and let that get nice and hot while I make those cornmeal muffins. So that looks fine to me. Let me get this on the stove and I'll set everything up for the cornmeal muffins, and I'll bring you back and show you how I do that. Okay, I've got everything set up. I've got my stew on the stove. My leftover stew is on the stove. And I have the oven preheated to 425. Now, because it's just the two of us, I have taken the recipe that comes with the cornmeal muffins, and remember, down in the description will be the link to where you can print all these and get this information. So the cornmeal muffins, I'm following the recipe, but I'm cutting it in half. So instead of 12 muffins, I've got my pan for 6, and I've buttered that. I've heated, my stove is preheating to 425 degrees. Now, for this to be halved, instead of 2½ cups of cornmeal mix, I'm going to use 1 1/4. And then it also calls for an egg and 1 1/4 cups of milk, and what I did with that was to break the 1 1/4 cups down into tablespoons, and so half of that is about 10 tablespoons. So that's what I have, 8 and 2 tablespoons. Now for half of an egg, that's actually really simple. What you're going to do for that is you just take an egg and you crack it in a little bowl, and then I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to mix that up really well so that the yolk and the white are fully incorporated together. And then Snickers always likes it when I have to use half an egg because he gets the other half. He's super excited about that. Now you can be super accurate and take like a tablespoon and divide this into 2 with that, but I just eyeball it. So there we go, that's pretty good. So I'm going to eyeball half of this egg. That looks about good. Yeah, that works. Snickers is excited. And then I'm going to put the milk in. And then all I'm going to do is mix this up. Now my cornmeal, and for this mix I used a white cornmeal. If I had used yellow cornmeal, it would just be more yellow. Okay, but that's what I had, was I had the white cornmeal. So now I've mixed that up. And now, super simple. Like, how easy is that, right? Now I'm going to just fill, I could actually just fill these. I don't have to use my little scoop. I'm going to fill these in here all about the same. It's kind of the consistency of like pancake batter, but it's going to cook up so nice. Now this is just going to be the plain cornmeal muffins. There's actually several recipes that you can do with this that I really like. The other day, I actually just kind of it was a leftover thing again. I put it all in a casserole dish, and I made kind of a cream of soup with the mix that I made, which was the cream of beef soup, I think it was. And then I basically kind of did the same thing. It was like a stew, but I put it in a casserole dish, and then I took this and I basically just poured this over the top of it, and I let it cook, and it made like a cornmeal crust across the top, like a big biscuit. It was really good. So I did that. So these are not recipes that are written anywhere. These are recipes that come out of my head, except for the muffins. So there I have it. I'm going to pop that in the oven, and it's going to go for 15 to 20 minutes, which should be just about enough time for that stew to get nice and hot. When it's all done, I'm going to come back and show you it all plated up. Straight out of the oven, they look amazing. They smell amazing. Now I'm going to take them out of here and put them on the plates and dish everything else up. All right, there you have it. So good. Now see, when I do the leftovers like this, and I call it a rustic stew because it's like big chunks of things, and it just makes it better. And look at the two muffins on the side. I put butter on the top. Brian will have two. I'll have one. But so good. They turn out perfect every single time. So I hope you guys give this a try. I love this mix, and it just is awesome. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.